But in 1933, the chiropractic law passed, and in a general sense, my father was skilled in osteopathy, my father was skilled in chiropractic, and he was also skilled in homeopathy. So I was able to be in his practice, and it was remarkable. I felt that somehow or other my father was gaining in intelligence the longer I was with him. But I remember one particular incident. I was trying to fit into his practice, and there was a group of, as I recall, either 4 or 5 Italian sisters. All of them had terrible trouble with their menstrual period. They would get terrible headaches, which morphine would not relieve. And because of the headaches, they couldn't have any children around in the house to make the noise, make it worse. They couldn't have any food cooking because that would make it worse. And they couldn't have any lights on in the evening because that would make it worse. And finally, after about 5 days, they'd throw up this evil-smelling bile, and then they'd be good for another 25 days, and it'd happen all over again. And my father said, "You take care of it." So I tried taking care of them with all the knowledge I had at that point. You have to understand, I graduated from the National College of Chiropractic, and I used to do blood counts on sprained ankles. That's the only thing I knew how to do, and it didn't seem to produce any reaction in the sprained ankles, which they didn't have. So it took me a little while to get into the groove, as they say. And my father said, "You take care of them." And after about 2 or 3 weeks, or a little bit more, he said, "How you come on those Italian sisters?" I said, "No good." He said, "Well, you're not going to help that." I said, "Well, then why am I treating them?" And he said, "To get them better." I said, "You're talking in riddles." He said, "No, I'm not." And I said, "Well, tell me." He said, "Now you say that they say that they have this terrible headache with the menstrual period." Yes. "And they say that they can't have any lights on, can't have any children in the house, can't have any food cooking and all that." He says, "That's what they say." I said, "Yeah." And then they say after 5 days they throw up this evil-smelling bile. I said, "Yeah, that's what they say." And he says, "Don't you see? Now, don't you see? Don't you see? Don't you see? Or don't you see?" He said, "You're not going to help that." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Why am I doing it?" He says, "To get them better." I said, "How?" He says, "Make them throw up the first 5 minutes, you'll save 5 days."